I'm about to tell you something that nobody's probably told you before. Your anxiety may not actually be your problem. Now, I know what you're saying. Okay, well, then why am I here, Chelsea? Why am I here on this webinar about social anxiety when my anxiety is not my problem? Just stay with me, because in this webinar, I'm about to teach you not only some of the things that I wish I had known when I was starting my healing journey, but also some of the things that actually healed my anxiety and relieved my anxiety to an immense degree just by knowing these things. If you're here, I'm gonna take a pretty good guess that I know a little bit about you. You're actually a pretty cool person. You are actually a fun, friendly, funny, charming in your own way person. And I bet you actually have a lot to offer the people that you talk to. The thing is, you keep freezing up. And the second you go into social settings, it's like, oh God, why am I such a goober? And the real you doesn't come through. And then you might go home and spend the entire night thinking about, oh my God, why did I say that? That was so stupid. Oh, they must think I'm an idiot. Oh my God, why did I bring that up? I shouldn't have brought that up. Oh my, ugh. And keeping yourself up late at night. You might actually want to be going to those events where you could meet those people that could change your life forever. Maybe it's a business meeting, and these are people who could help you double the size of your business. Maybe you're going out with friends and hoping you meet that one special person that's really going to change your life for the long term. And yet, there's this thing that keeps blocking you, and it's not letting the real you, like I said, it's not letting the real you come through. And that social freeze response is actually coming from something deeper than just anxiety. And what most people don't tell you is that when you just attack anxiety, you're missing the root of the problem. You're just staying up here with the symptom. Anxiety is actually a symptom of the underlying beliefs and programs and inheritances that we all get when we become humans. So if that's you, you're in the right spot. And if this video found you, then I already know you're my people. But who am I? My name is Chelsea Albert. I'm an intuitive hypnotherapist, and I have spent years helping hundreds of my clients heal their anxiety, trauma, and phobias in a fraction of the time as traditional therapy. Why? Because I'm impatient. And I have always wanted to get to the healing portion of my journey as quickly as possible. Now, yes, sometimes healing takes time, but over my years of having to go through trial and error, having to go through a narcissistic marriage, and then all of the anxiety and stress and panic attacks that come from that, having come through the other side and having all of these thoughts in my head that I knew weren't true, I knew they weren't helpful, I knew they weren't even my own thoughts, and yet I couldn't stop thinking them. I found hypnosis, and then I found theta healing, and then I found tapping, and then I found eye movement integration. And I've blended them all into my own Chelsea method of healing, using my intuition to guide me and to help me play that little poker game with my client's unconscious mind and see what's really going on underneath the surface. Now, that's all the technical stuff about me, but basically, I'm a cat person. I'm a little bit kooky. I'm one part kook, one part science nerd. And like I said, I'm a little impatient. My goal as a healer is to help you not need me as efficiently as possible. So I'm making this webinar for you. And here's the funny thing, I actually can't stand webinars these days, which is very interesting considering you're watching one right now. But here's the thing, I can't bring myself to do that fake, like, okay, hey, here's Stephanie Bot from Idaho. Hey, Stephanie, glad you're calling in. No, I'm making this video for you. Watch it with your intention. Watch it through your own lenses and your own filters. Watch it through your own experience. I'm not going to ask you to punch in a 1 or a 2 if you agree. And I'm not going to give you a bunch of malarkey and shtick. I'm not going to give you 100 client testimonials. If you want to know more about the work that I do, check me out on Google at Chelsea Albert Healing. Otherwise, I'm going to keep it pretty much to the information you need to know. And yes, Of course, I'm going to tell you how to work with me after. Of course, I'm going to have something to offer you afterwards because, well, quite frankly, it'd be rude to spend this time with you and then not tell you how to go further in your healing journey. So, hang tight with me. Through this video, you're going to get the information and the three things that not only do I feel like my clients have missed before they start working with me, but also the three things that, like I said, decreased my own anxiety just by knowing them. You ready? Let's dive in. Now, the first thing that most people get wrong, and it's not their fault, but the most common thing that we're told is that you have to have confidence to be magnetic. You have to walk into a room and own it, and the light has to go out, and there has to be a little spotlight, and bluebirds have to sing, and the room has to stop, and there's glitter for some reason. Mm-mm. When you think about confidence, what do you think of? Go ahead and imagine yourself being confident now. Okay. Now, that's a really good image to keep in mind. Did you imagine that you were maybe standing straighter? Did you imagine that you were walking into the room and you had kind of like a little strut to you? Maybe not an arrogant one, maybe not like one of those absurd struts, but just a little bit of a walk, right? Did you imagine that you were laughing while you were talking to people? Did you imagine that people were laughing while they were talking to you? All good things to keep in mind, but that's not actually essential for you to be confident. Now, the funny thing is, do you actually know the definition of confidence? I didn't. And I've memorized it because I've had to read it out loud to so many of my clients, and it blows their mind every time they hear it. Are you ready? Confidence, noun, is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. Semicolon. Firm trust. That's a very different version of confidence, isn't it? And especially when you apply that to self-confidence, which would basically mean that self-confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on themselves, a firm trust in yourself, which kind of turns the whole confidence thing on its head, doesn't it? We are marketed by so many agencies that in order to feel confident, you have to have the skin cream, you have to have these clothes, you have to have these shoes, you have to have this car, you have to have this house, you have to have X amount of blah, blah, blah in order to be confident and to walk into a room. But what really makes a confident person magnetic is that firm trust in themselves. Now, maybe you do, or maybe you don't have that. If you do, guess what? Congratulations. You already have the foundation for being magnetic. And now it's just a matter of realizing that it was never that you're not confident. You are confident. You just weren't displaying the traditional image of confidence. But guess what? When you walk into a room and you really trust that you're going to be okay, whether or not a conversation goes well, or you really trust that, yes, I know what I'm doing in my business. Yes, I know what I have to offer. When you walk up to Mr. or Mrs. Wonderful and you say, yeah, I know I'm a catch. And I know that if I'm not your match, no worries. Both of us are going to be just fine. Oh, that magnetizes not only the people that you want, but the right people that you want. The people that are attracted to confidence are confident themselves. So you're going to find that as you walk in with that firm trust in yourself, you're going to start finding people that trust you. And you're going to find trustworthy people. That's the way the law of vibration works. We attract what level we're on. Now, the next thing that I really wish someone had been able to tell me much, much sooner is that anxiety isn't this monster that's hell-bent on ruining your life. Most of my life with anxiety and most of my life, I had the weird kid complex. Okay, I was a smart little girl growing up, and people knew me as that. And I was always the first one with my hand in the air because I just like making connections, and that did not bode well for an elementary school career. So I always kept myself in the shadow, and I always kept myself kind of in the background of things. I've always considered myself the supporting player. And what I had to realize as it developed into anxiety later on was that there was nothing wrong with me. Now, I always thought that my anxiety meant that there was something wrong. If I was experiencing that fear response, if I was experiencing that freeze response, what the F was wrong with me? Why couldn't I just get my head together? Why couldn't I just be normal? But anxiety is actually trying to help you. Go with me on this. Every emotion that we have is actually like a little smoke signal telling us what we need to pay more attention to. Joy actually means that we need to pay attention to the fact that we're on a good path right now and we need to stay here and hang out here. Sadness means that our body is releasing something. Many people think that if they feel sad, that they shouldn't do something like oh, I'm about to leave this job. Maybe I shouldn't do it because I'm sad. No, that means your body's actually releasing that job before you even can. Anger means that something needs to change. How many really amazing things in this world have been accomplished because someone finally got angry enough to stand up and say no? Anxiety tells us one of three things. One, you're projecting your past onto your future, AKA, oh God, this happened once. What if this happens again? This is a pretty common one with social anxiety. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It just means that your brain is remembering a past humiliation, a past event that you didn't like. And it's going, we are not going to experience that again. So I'm going to make you really, really anxious. I'm going to make you so anxious that you sit in your car and have a debate with yourself over whether or not you should walk in, and then make you turn that car around and say, you know what, I've really got to go check on this thing. I think I might have left the light on. Oh, whoops-a-daisy, I didn't make it to the event. Just to keep you safe from experiencing humiliation. Another one that anxiety tells us is you're actually in a place that isn't aligned with you, but trying to force yourself to stay there. When I was in a narcissistic marriage, I have never had so many panic attacks. I have never had such high anxiety. And I just kept thinking there was something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. The fact is, my body was recognizing that this person was not right for me. That my body was recognizing that this relationship, this situation was not right for me. And yet my brain kept saying, well, there must be something wrong with me. I guess I'll stay. I made a commitment. I guess I'll stay. And my anxiety was getting so bad that it was becoming impossible for me to stay. Now, once I left that relationship, my anxiety decreased almost immediately. There were 3 nights of me crying myself to sleep and grieving, and then everything immediately got better. I got more confident, I got more calm, I got more settled in myself. Why? Because my body knew that I was finally out of a situation that wasn't good for me. Sometimes anxiety is actually your greatest helper and your greatest protector. Doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. The last thing, and I'm going to get a little kooky here because this is a term that gets thrown out a lot nowadays, especially in TikTok land, but it is actually a thing. Being an empath, being empathic. Now, all humans are wired to sense each other emotionally. We're wired to pick up on little micro expressions. We're wired to pick up on the energy of someone, even if you don't consider yourself empathic. Have you ever walked into a room where someone that you love dearly and are very close to has been having a really rough day? And you walk into the room and it's almost like you can feel the air crackling. Maybe you just look at them, maybe it's even before you look at them, but you can tell now would not be the time to bring up that old argument that you thought you were going to bring up tonight. You get that feeling that, oh, okay, they actually need some space. And everything in you can either soften or everything in you might go, oh, okay, proceed with caution. Either way, you're picking up on your loved one's emotion. That is a human thing. That is something that all humans are able to do. It's something that's very primal in us, and it's something that has contributed to our survival over the centuries. Now, some people are a little bit more sensitive than others. Some people are like the chefs who have extra sensitive taste buds, or the artists that have extra sensitive rods and cones that allow them to see different nuance and color. People who are empathic are like the Gordon Ramsay of energy and emotions. And they can sense energy and they can pick up and feel energy. And if they are not quite aware of what is theirs and what is not, then they can begin to feel those emotions as if those emotions are their own. And that can lead to anxiety. I believe that there's good in the world. I believe that we're all heading in the right direction eventually, but there is a lot of anxiety out there. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of news, there's a lot of media, there's a lot of people stirring the pot. And again, there's just a lot of anxiety with just the general state of the world, just the general doom scrolling and technology and all this, not to mention the anxiety of just being an adult. So anxiety might actually be telling you, hey, you're picking up on somebody else around you. This might not even be yours. This might be you tuning into somebody else. This might be you picking up on the anxiety of the collective. And it might be telling you that it's time to stop watching the news, it's time to stop doom scrolling and go outside and get in the fresh air. So anxiety is really trying to help you. It's really trying to help you get back to the present and to remind you of what needs to be healed and what unconscious programs are running. Which brings me to my last point. Speaking of those unconscious programs that your anxiety might be trying to bring your attention to. Quick little tangent, quick little bonus fact. Your anxiety might be trying to bring your attention to a belief system that's ready to be healed now. The anxiety, like I said earlier, is always a symptom of what's really going on underneath. Have you ever noticed that there's some people who get anxious around spiders and some that don't? I'm one of them. I don't like spiders. You can have them. But that means that anxiety is not really objective. There are some people who are genuinely not bothered about the state of the world, and there are some people who are genuinely bothered about the state of the world, which means that the source of anxiety is much, much deeper than just anxiety. It's triggering a belief system. It's bringing your attention to either an old wound that's ready to be healed. For example, that embarrassment thing. Perhaps one time, a long time ago, you were told to give a speech in public and it just went every kind of wrong and all the kids laughed and maybe your face turned red. Maybe something worse happened. I don't know, but that's ready to be healed now. Your anxiety is trying to bring attention to that moment so that you can go back, let it go, and then move forward. Again, it's a very, very sweet, if not very uncomfortable and slightly overworked security system. Or this anxiety could be leading you to something even deeper that's been living in a story that you've been telling yourself day in and day out for years. This anxiety could be pointing you in the direction of a belief that I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I have to present this big picture of myself. I have to be someone else because I'm not good enough. Or maybe it's a belief that people don't like me, people don't want me. And it's a painful one, but your anxiety is actually trying to bring your attention to that belief so that you can heal it. And that's a pretty encouraging thought, because if it was buried way, 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 way too deep, you wouldn't even be aware of it. It would just be eating at you from inside. So the fact that you're seeing this, the fact that you are seeing this video, the fact that you are experiencing anxiety is actually a sign that you are ready to let it go. You're ready to confront it and you're ready to let it go, which is pretty exciting. Now, the last thing you need to know loosely ties into picking up on other people's energy. And that is the fact that your anxiety may not even be yours. Like I said, you could actually be picking up anxiety from someone around you, or again, from the collective. Or you could have inherited that anxiety. Now, this blew my mind because I always thought that my anxiety was a problem with me. Chelsea, why can I not just get rid of this? Why can I not just get rid of this? What is going on in my brain that I can't get rid of my anxiety? And then I learned a very surprising fact about a very unfortunate experiment. Nevertheless, it was an incredibly enlightening experiment. Back in the day, a bunch of scientists got a group of male rats together. And when they exposed them to the scent of cherry blossom, they would zap them. They conditioned them to be afraid of the scent of cherry blossom, which is awful. Now, what they did was they bred these rats, but they didn't let the male rats interact with the female rats. They artificially inseminated them. So these male rats had no contact with the mothers of their offspring. And when they tested the offspring, who had had no contact with their fathers and their mothers had had no contact with their fathers, there was no chance of behavioral conditioning or training between these baby rats and their dads. Nevertheless, when those baby rats were exposed to the scent of cherry blossom, they got anxious. The anxiety from their fathers transferred genetically into them, which is freaking wild because when you look back at your history, and maybe it is just your parents, maybe your parents were anxious, but look at your grandparents, look as far back as you can. Do you have anything in your history that would have caused anxiety? For example, my father's first generation American, and he he okay. Dad, if you're watching this, I hope you don't mind that I'm sharing family history. I did not expect to share this, but I think it plays in really, really especially well. My father's first generation American, and he deals with anxiety in various forms. His mother was the only survivor in her family of the Holocaust. Now, he and I had a chat about this a long time ago, and he said, no, my mom never talked about it at all. Whenever the news came on or whenever a story would come on, she would shut it off of the TV, but she never talked about her experience. And yet, my father experiences anxiety. I experience anxiety. And that is the result of genetic inheritance of programs that maybe don't even belong to us. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, great, Chelsea. Now how can I heal that? That is something that I specifically work with. Now, yes, I do hypnosis. Yes, I do other techniques that work really, really well on the mind. But one of the reasons that I found the technique of theta healing was because I was craving the ability to work with people on an even deeper level. So yes, I work with all of that on the genetic level as well. But that's not the point. The point is, your anxiety isn't what you thought it was. It's trying to help you. It is trying to protect you. It is trying to alert you to what is ready to be healed. And most importantly, your anxiety isn't a sign that you don't have confidence. You actually have all the confidence you need, and you already have the foundation to go out there and talk to the people that you desire to talk to, no matter what setting, no matter what scenario, from the King of England to the guy at the coffee shop, from the movie star that you've always wanted to talk to the girl at the bar that you've been meaning to say hi to. All of those people, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to talk to them when you have that firm trust in yourself. And when you realize that your anxiety doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. Now, here's the thing. I already know that it's not a question of if, but when for you. Sooner or later, you're going to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you are going to heal your anxiety. You're going to let it go. You're going to get to the point with your emotions where you can experience anxiety, say, what's this trying to tell me? And then let it go just as easily. You're going to get there. But the question is, how much time do you want to take? Do you want to lose more time? Do you want to miss more of the connections? Do you want to miss more of the opportunities? Or are you ready to be done with it? Are you ready to be done with it now? Are you ready to be done with it in the next month? Now, if you watched this webinar and you were thinking, oh my God, Chelsea, that actually really did help me. Now I just need a resource. I just need something to kind of get my mind out of there. I do have an offering. It's my Anxiety Interrupt Emergency Kit. This is 4 downloads of my 4 best hypnosis audios, layered with healing frequencies that are going to get you out of your head and help you prepare for those conversations that you know might be a little bit stressful. Maybe you've got a meeting with the boss coming up. Maybe you have to have a confrontation with your landlord. Maybe you know you're going to have to have a confrontation with someone at the holiday table. Or maybe you just need to wash the bad day off. Maybe you just need a little help getting out of your head and breaking that habit of being in that cringe loop late at night. then the Anxiety Interrupt Emergency Kit is your jam. Like I said, just 4 audios. They are downloaded. They are yours. It's not a membership. It's a one-time payment of $27. And these are the equivalent of mini sessions with me. So this is a $375 value. It's yours for $27. And you are always available to work with me after. But if you're seeing this video and you are saying, yeah, Chelsea, this is me, you're my people, and I'm so freaking done with this cycle that I've been stuck in, then work with me one-on-one. My Anxiety Interrupt Breakthrough package is 3 sessions. That's it. 3 90-minute sessions that will help you break the anxiety loop. We're going to help you heal the original root of the anxiety, help you heal the genetic level root of the anxiety, and help you move forward and create the you that you already know is deep within. Just bringing it out a little bit more. This is the protocol, this is the program that has helped many of my most intense panic disorder clients, my most intense social anxiety clients, and my most intense phobia clients kick their fear in a fraction of the time as traditional methods. Because we don't spend a lot of time talking up here. Yes, we'll spend a little bit of time, but really my gift is playing that poker game with your unconscious mind and helping you get to the real root so that we can actually heal it. Like I said, my goal as a healer is to help you not need me as efficiently as possible. So if you are ready to really kick the anxiety, this 3-session package, which is going to save you months, 2 years of therapy, it's going to actually make you that money back in time. Because here's the thing, how much would it be worth to you to be able to go out next week, next month, and find the one who is going to bring you joy and happiness and fulfillment in a relationship? Maybe you're going to walk into your next business meeting and actually crush it and actually meet people who want to support you, who want to collaborate you, who want to become your clients. Maybe you're going to go out and just have fun for once without having to spend $12 to $14. I live in Nashville, so maybe $16 to $20 per drink just to feel comfortable. How much would that be worth to you? And if that is worth the price of admission to you, then the price of admission is $750 for 3 90-minute sessions. Now again, I know that that might seem like a lot for just 3 sessions. But here's the thing. I price myself to get you results. I price myself to save you time. And these are actually the lowest prices that I am going to offer on my services. Typically, my packages are $1,100 and up. And here's the thing, if you're one of my clients and you are seeing this video, don't be mad at me. You're free to take up this offer too. But if you book your call today after seeing this webinar, and once you book your first session, if you'd like me to sweeten the pot even more, when you decide to work with me one-on-one, I'll give you the Anxiety Interruption Emergency Kit for free. And I'll include that in your package. So now you have a $325 value, plus the $1,100 plus value, plus the value that you are saving on drinks to make yourself comfortable. You are saving on time lost and time wasted with the people that you love, friends and romantic partners. And you'll be making money if you own a business, if you run a business, or if you are an employee and now you actually have that confidence to walk into your boss's office and say, hey, I'd like to contribute more. I know the value I add and I have a firm trust in myself. Let's talk. So if you are ready to be done with your social anxiety, book a call. If you just need a little extra support, download the Anxiety Interrupter Emergency Kit. And whatever you do, know that I'm cheering you on. And I am excited to see you sparkle the way that I know you already do within. Click the link below, and I'll talk to you soon. Happy healing.